Welcome back, everybody. While I'm sharing my screen, I want to give you the opportunity to pause, lower your volume, or put your headphones in so that kids who are not of age, who don't you don't want to have the conversation about the title. And I'll briefly go into the rationale about the title, which I covered in the first video. That if you have not heard, I'm going to let you watch that one to explain how I. Why I came up with the title, and I know it seems a little bit clickbaitish, but there is rationale behind it, and I'll briefly cover it. But this video series is top 10 reasons I'm a high-class LinkedIn hoe, and the reason is that it's largely because I'm a huge fan of LinkedIn, and I think it's necessary for job recruitment and getting a job, and also for your business. And the high class piece comes in, meaning I'll accept anybody, which explains the whole part. But in terms of being in my connections, but I will not recommend you. If you come to me and say, "Hey, I'm applying for this job, would you recommend me?" and I have no idea who you are from Adam, the answer is no. Won't introduce you to somebody if I don't know you. Absolutely not going to happen. You can leverage my me in terms of this your searchability, and I'll benefit from you as well. So it's a mutual agreement there. But the more volume you have, I have 10,000 plus direct connections, and then I manage multiple groups that have thousands of people on them as well. So my searchability, it helps me quite a bit. So that's the primary reason. But I'm also a big fan and big believer that LinkedIn, from a business and a job standpoint, is the best tool out there for you if you're looking for a job or if you have a business. So I'm going to give a recap before we jump into number two. And before we get started or get to the number two item here, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, hit the alert button, and share this video or the series with anybody who you might find needs to hear this or it has value to them. Number 10, LinkedIn offers is a great tool for research. You can research either a job or you can research it from a competitive intelligence standpoint for your business. So again, I cover that in item number in the first video here. And then also, I think that you need to do your due diligence before you go and work for somebody, or you want to align yourself from a business standpoint as well. Number 9, recruiters use this as a primary hiring tool. So we talked about this in the intro in terms of why I have so many connections. It's a searchability aspect, and the more in common people that you have with a recruiter, the higher up you'll go on the search tool, assuming you have done a great job in terms of flushing out your work history on LinkedIn and have a bunch of keywords, processes, and tools that you've used in the past for various positions. Listen to the other video too, because there's other things that I go into detail as well that I'm not covering in this summary and recap. Hiring managers also use LinkedIn to confirm resumes during interviews. So again, in case you don't know, recruiters are different than hiring managers. Sometimes they're the same, one and the same, but a lot of times hiring managers, if they work for a large company, they'll have internal and potentially external hiring and recruiting companies. And so what will happen is the recruiter will have you provide a resume, and they'll ask you to kind of revamp your job descriptions just to get you that face time you need for the interview. And you may not be a good fit, but what we'll do, and what I'll do, or what I'll have my team do, is we'll basically look at the LinkedIn profile and compare it to the resume. And if there's something that's off there, it's a red flag right from the start. So don't do it. And then number one, if you are going to do it, at least be smart and make sure they align. Number 7, LinkedIn is a very effective way to generate warm leads. Warm lead is better than a cold lead. If you're in business or you want to, have an in-person conversation with a hiring manager because you want a job, if you know somebody that can connect you, LinkedIn is a great way to see if there's a connection there. It's better than just submitting a resume or an application online that has almost zero chance of getting looked at. Maybe you have such a specific title that you'll get looked at, but if you're competing against a whole lot of people for a job that's very common, not going to be a great way. And LinkedIn is a great way to at least have a shot of having a conversation ahead of time. Or maybe you know somebody you can ask them about the company and ask them if they have any recommendations for how to get noticed. A lot of different ways of utilizing warm and generating warm leads. Number 6, you can use it and should use it to brand your business, right? I know a lot of people have business Facebook pages on there, Facebook pages, or in various different forms, but LinkedIn is just as powerful in terms of if you have a business, because A, people are looking to potentially get hired, but B, again, you might actually end up recruiting from LinkedIn, which I think is, again, one of the reasons I'm pushing LinkedIn and so high on LinkedIn from that standpoint. you have access and people can see about you and what you're looking to try and do. So you can go ahead and listen again to the prior videos to kind of get the full features of what I cover in number 6. Number 5, LinkedIn offers professional group creation. So you can either join this or start one. But again, I cover in detail why this is beneficial, because there's a lot of conversation that typically takes place within those groups, or you can pose questions or kind of basically do some field studies, some market research potentially, depending on the group. Maybe your company produces optical lenses and you want to, ask a question of a photography group there, so a lot of different ways you can leverage that. Number 4, you can leverage LinkedIn to recruit for your business, which I also just kind of covered. So go back and look at the last video and you can get the full explanation of this one. And then number 3, which I think is important, LinkedIn is a good intermediary social networking tool if you don't feel comfortable having certain work associates connect with you on your primary all social media like Facebook, Instagram, or what have you, right? I typically, as I explained, don't accept Facebook invitations or other social media invitations from people who I'm currently work with unless I feel very, very comfortable with that person, right? So, and I'll use LinkedIn as the primary connecting tool until after I'm gone. And then at that point, I'll also just tell them and just say, hey, I don't connect with people on Facebook while I'm currently working there, just right up front. But a lot of times I have a ton of friends that I've made at work that I will accept them, on my personal Facebook. And by the way, I'm going to tell you no, if I don't know you and you ask me to connect on Facebook again, because I don't want you knowing things about my kids and family either. So, but LinkedIn is a good intermediary social networking option. And then number 2, and this is kind of covered throughout and also in the title. This is where it ties together, right? LinkedIn is the best business tool for networking, right? And so what I mean by that, when I talked about why I'm a high class LinkedIn hoe, is that I have like I said, over 10,000 direct connections. I manage groups that we talk about, number 5 there, that have also several thousand other connections. And again, it's helpful. So there's that game called 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. I want you to try something out. I want you to do a search for somebody, and feel free, by the way, to connect with me. I'll accept your connection. I will not recommend you if I haven't worked with you. But do a search if you are connected with me or do reach out to connect with me. Do a search and see how many degrees away you are from just being in my network, right? Which is what the power of LinkedIn is in terms of both for business generating warm leads and also for getting a job, from you searching and also from getting searched. And I think that it's not going to be that likely that you wouldn't have somebody that you're connected to me within 3 or 4 levels, right? I think it's highly likely that based on just the volume of people that I'm connected with, you'd have some degree of being connected with somebody you're looking for. And I don't care the fame either. It could be, the number of people that are on there that are, business famous, if you will. I'm one, maybe directly connected with them, so again, it's worth it. And that's the power of this tool, is the networking piece and how many degrees away you are, right? And so that introduction, aspect that I talked about in one of the earlier tips also, I've had it where I've been 4 people away and it's taken that long, but I've actually gotten, some FaceTime with somebody and I've been 4 levels away in terms of that introduction there. So this is so powerful, and why you need to not just have 3 people. If you only have 3 people within your LinkedIn circle, you're only going to have that much ability to reach out and get that warm lead or make that connection, because you're limiting yourself. And I know it makes sense in terms of, that's why I'm very upfront though. If you do connect with me and I don't have any experience with you, I'm not going to give you a recommendation. I'm not going to connect you with anybody. I'm not going to do your work for you also in terms of trying to make a sale. I'm not interested in doing that. I don't know you, and I can't trust you because I don't have that experience with you. So anyway, that's the number 2 reason. Again, I'm going to stop sharing, and then I want to encourage you to give me a thumbs up, give me a like, which is what the thumbs up is, and then also subscribe, and then also hit the alert button. And if you find that this is valuable, feel free to share it with anybody who can use this. I'd appreciate it. You can also share the playlist as well. Thanks.